Sonoma County Master Gardeners love to grow their own vegetables.
But with California facing water restrictions, it's important to be water wise.
This video will demonstrate some simple things that you can do to successfully grow vegetables with less water. With most gardeners in Sonoma County facing water restrictions, some gardeners might feel they can no longer grow vegetables for their family. The water saved by letting a lawn go brown can be enough to grow your own edibles. During the hot months in Sonoma County, vegetable gardens need an average of 1 inch of water per week. In a 4x8 summer vegetable garden, this is about 20 gallons per week.
During cool months, a veggie garden may require half of this amount of water. The actual amount of water your individual bed requires will depend on a number of factors, such as weather, soil type, or your own individual microclimate. You can take 4 basic steps to maximize the water efficiency of your vegetable garden. Compost, drip irrigation, right plant, right place, and mulch.
Adding compost is the single best thing you can do for your soil. Compost improves the soil's water holding capacity, adds nutrients, and helps produce better yields. If this is the first time a bed is being used for growing vegetables, dig 3 to 4 inches of compost into the top 3 to 8 inches of the soil, which is the active root zone of most vegetables. In an established garden, you can spread at least 1/2 to 2 inches of compost on top of the soil so that you don't disrupt the soil structure and beneficial organisms that help maintain healthy, productive soil.
The next step is to set up your drip irrigation system. Drip irrigation is far more efficient than spray irrigation or hand watering. With drip irrigation, water is applied uniformly and only where it is needed, and it reduces water loss from evaporation. If you aren't using a drip system yet, it is very easy to install. For a 4x8 foot bed, the system looks like this. The simplest system is a 1/2 inch main line across the 4-foot width of the bed with the 1/4 inch tubing that has inline emitters running down the 8-foot length of the bed. In the past, gardeners were encouraged to water deeply. Now, food gardeners are advised to water only their crop's active root zone to most efficiently use limited water. We recommend watering your vegetable beds a little bit every day. Keep your soil consistently moist within the rooting zone of the plants, which in most cases is about 3 to 8 inches deep. If you water longer than that, it is likely that water is being wasted below the rooting zone. Based on your soil and microclimate, watering between 5 to 15 minutes each day is sufficient, even in the hot days of summer. Test your soil before you water. Feel how deep the soil is moist. Your best indicator is free. Once you get a feel for how much water your plants need, use a timer so that no water goes to waste. Regular observation of your garden is key to minimizing your water use while maximizing your production.
Now that the drip system is in place, it's time to think about choosing the right plant and planting it in the right place. Consider the amount of water you have available to support crops through harvest, and grow the type of vegetables that your family will eat. Look for varieties with short days to harvest. A tomato that is ready to harvest in 65 days uses less water than a tomato that is ready to harvest in 85 days. You can plant intensively, as we have here, to shade the soil and reduce evaporation. Keep in mind where you place your plants in the bed. Here's an example of how we laid out this 4x8 bed, noting where the sun comes up. Make sure your plants are close to an irrigation emitter. Knowing how big your plants will grow is also helpful when laying out your bed. The tomatoes and the squash will take up the most room in the bed. We planned the rest of the bed around them. To save space, we planted pole beans that climb up instead of out. We purposely put the lettuces in the shade of the chard and the tomatoes because in the summer they prefer to have a bit of afternoon shade. We chose varieties of vegetables and herbs for early production, and we added flowers to attract beneficial insects.
Once the right vegetables are planted in the right place, you are ready to mulch. Mulch is any protective covering for your garden beds. It moderates soil temperature and reduces evaporation. Use organic materials such as dried leaves, straw, grass clippings, or compost. Add 2 to 4 inches of mulch on top of your soil. Mulch goes on top of the drip system so that soil, not your mulch, is irrigated. You can have a bountiful vegetable garden using less water by remembering these important, simple steps.
Compost helps your soil hold water and supports all the living organisms working in the soil.
Drip irrigation puts water where you want it. Use less water, more efficiently, and it goes only where it's needed, the active root zone.
Be selective. Grow what you enjoy eating. Pick the right plants given our summer dry climate and plant them in the right place so they will thrive.
And don't forget the finishing touch. Mulch covers your soil, keeps it cooler, minimizes evaporation, and prevents weeds.
We hope these simple tips will help you have a thriving vegetable garden even during the drought.
Enjoy your harvest.